You think they will?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing anybody yet. I don't know. It's 0.
On AO?
Everything. Oh, no, I'm wrong. There's a couple people. That's always good.
Say hello so we know you're here.
Yeah. Say hello, drop a like, share. Tell me how stunningly beautiful I am.
It's super helpful if we know you're here. And actually, it makes a big difference if people chime in somehow with a comment, reaction, something, anything.
It does. It boosts the Facebook. It makes the Facebook gods happy.
Right.
And the YouTube gods.
Right.
Although if you're not on YouTube, then it won't make the YouTube gods happy.
Right.
But how you doing, Raylene?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in.
You're hanging in there?
Yeah. Today was injection day. So, not the most pleasant day ever, but
no.
The eye's a little sore, but it'll be fine in the morning.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I figured we'd do a Barre Beat because we didn't have one on Monday night.
No, and I agreed. We talked about it earlier, and I said, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a great decision. A lot has happened this week.
A lot has happened this week.
So, and not everybody goes to a city council meeting. So maybe we're going to, spill the beans on some stuff and let people know what's going on.
We're going to spill the beans on the city council stuff that happened?
Well, I don't know why we wouldn't. Did you think you were going to get away with that? With me over here?
I did get an information that apparently I may have a conflict of interest for voting on the planning commission for you. Just as a side note, I was told that. Just want you to know.
You were?
I was
Why?
told that.
Because we're friends?
I think that's probably the only reason why. Because with all due respect, and just for some clarity for folks, I don't make a dime off from this. I do this as my way of getting information out to the public because I feel that there's a dearth of information in our community. And I think that people that like to make snowstorms and confuse folks, that's the reason why I support getting information out there.
I thought you did this
distribution list, why I get the fan page, why I get everything.
Yeah. You do not get paid.
No, I do not.
And sometimes, like tonight, you even got hurt on the job because
I did.
Of the the table that you have to sit at now that we're at this
terrible,
horrendous underground bunker.
Correct. The
studio.
Correct. I hurt my knee. It hurt.
He banged his leg on the table.
It hurt a little bit.
But anyway, no. So I don't understand the conflict, but
that's okay.
Okay.
So I don't get anything from Raylene being on the planning commission, except for a personal satisfaction at this moment in time.
Right. I mean,
but
and there was some confusion about that. So,
wasn't any confusion on my behalf.
Well, no, but they wanted to rescind my appointment, and Tom let them know that was not appropriate, was not allowed, could not happen. They could not rescind. I had already been appointed, had been to a meeting, this, that, and the other. And so the mayor then said that they would, I believe, put it on the next agenda to remove me.
Yeah. No, and that will be on Monday or Tuesday, and so that will fail because it has to be a unanimous vote according to state statute, just like Rosemary said. And welcome, Rosemary. Nice to see you. Well, I'm not seeing you, but nice to see your comments. Anybody else that want to comment, you should drop a comment, subscribe,
please.
And share. Anyway, so it's all good.
It is all good. Well, kind of. It's still, it's very, it's troublesome to me, for one, that we're still carrying it on. And it seems like it's very personal. And because I've not done anything horrible on the commission. No. And I always promote the city. I don't have I don't personally care for somebody. And I maybe express that in my personal spaces, but and I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah.
I thought.
Well, I'm there with you.
And I
on
did
multiple
apologize.
levels. I'm
I
there
did
with you.
apologize to Liv, both in writing, and then I decided I decided that was not good enough, and I went to her personally. Yeah. So.
And as we talk about conflicts of interest, I do have to say that we do like drop sponsor comments before occasionally.
Yeah.
Only because they sponsor Aired Out, which I'm using their equipment.
Right. Equipment and platform, and
plus, with all due respect, I only speak nice of people that I really like. So.
Well, and because you don't get paid for this,
correct.
We're saying you need
Correct.
to do this for us because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
for our sponsors.
I'll say regarding one of your sponsors, Ruthie Ears Auto.
Yeah.
I went there on Monday, and I went there to get an alignment and found out that my Jeep can't get an alignment, which is really depressing.
It can't?
No, because apparently like all the pipes are seized up or all the caliber. I don't know what he was.
It needs work.
It needs work. So
or you should trade it for a new Jeep.
They don't come in my color. You see, folks, you see that color right there?
You don't need to have the
green. It
green.
has to be a bright green color.
But there's already two of them around town, and one of them I see turning on Nelson Street all the time. So, and I think it's you, but it's not you. And so there's the one that's a little beat up, and then there's one that is very nice, like yours. And I see it all the time.
Okay. So here's the problem with folks like Raylene. Besides the fact that she obviously needs to put her glasses on while she's driving, there's not another Jeep.
Yes, there is. I'm taking a picture.
You take a picture, and I can almost guarantee you it's a TJ. You want to make a bet? Or not a TJ, but a JK.
It looks exactly like yours.
No,
I'm telling you.
The color is not the same.
Soft top, everything.
I'm willing to bet you the color is not the same.
Well, it's close enough so that nobody could tell the difference except for you, maybe.
People that own a Jeep can tell the difference.
Oh, God.
If
Just
you're a
get
Jeep
a new
owner,
one.
Drop a comment.
I want one of those ones that's half Jeep, half truck.
Gladiator?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're okay.
I really would like to have one of
if
those.
I was going to get a truck, that's what I would be. But their
maybe
towing
we could
capacity
take
is only
that.
3,500.
Yeah, well, maybe we could take that for our Christmas Jeep-miss this year.
That would be kind of nifty. I don't think it's really a Jeep. But
whatever.
Let's talk about Monday.
Yes, let's talk.
Do you know what happened on Monday?
No, what happened on Monday?
Monday was September 11th.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That I know. Of course.
Yeah. And I actually got like a phone call about 7-something in the morning saying the fire department's putting up the flag. And I ran down and took a picture of it. So it was pretty awesome.
It was awesome. It was nice to see.
I seen the flag.
And thanks for sharing it.
Yeah.
Because then I got to share it on Aired Out as well.
Yeah. It's 22 years since 9/11, and I get that it's been 22 years, and some people are saying that it's 22 years, move on.
Are you kidding me?
I've actually heard that. Yes.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not going to lie to you, but you can say it all you want, but it is what it is.
I am very happy I did not have to have that conversation. I'm just going to say that right now.
Yeah. There's certain things that people remember. Like I can, like current events that happened in our lives, and that's one of those big events.
Yeah.
I was you talk to people that not experienced Pearl Harbor, but that were alive during that time, and they can tell you that, right? Like, and if you were back in the 70s, to tell someone that it's Pearl Harbor, it's not that big of a deal. I think you would find a significant amount of kickback on that, but society we live in, I guess, doesn't feel that way anymore.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
But yeah, so we, take a moment. Obviously, it's passed, and I was glad that our fire department put up
Me
the
too.
flag as
Me
a,
too.
as a
I'm proud of
remembrance.
I'm proud of them
for them.
and and the flag and all of that. I'm grateful that they did that.
There was a lot of fire. I mean, it was all first responders, right, during 9/11.
Right.
So.
And most of the fire departments, I know Berlin, the town of Berlin, the fire department put up a big flag, Montpelier, all over. Yeah.
It's unique. It's a uniquely it uniquely affects our first responders because they were the ones that went into those buildings as they were crashing down.
Right.
So, and there's that camaraderie of serving. Even, most of our firefighters probably weren't even like old enough to serve in the fire department at the time, but
Except
their
Joe.
brothers.
Don't tell him I said that.
Who? What?
I said except Joe, but don't tell him I said that. That he was old enough.
Yeah, he was old enough. He's an old fart, isn't he? Anyway, so moving on from that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Very good to see.
Just a quick reminder, as always, the October 12th deadline for FEMA application. If you have not done your application for FEMA, make sure you do it. And
the Barre Community Relief Fund is live and also open for people to apply for. And I'm told that they really haven't gotten all that many applications, but they know that there's a need and there's people that out there that maybe should apply.
Yeah.
And
if
so
you don't apply for funds, you're not going to get any, folks.
Right.
So
and
you got to apply for the funds.
Right.
Yeah. Also, we'll bring it up, the water issues. We get it, right? There was significant shock to the system. It's pretty rough. When that happened, they did system-wide flushing. It's still brown of water. Then they did draining and filling of the Pierce tank. It's still browning. So they're monitoring the chlorination. They're doing additional testings. I think they did like 120 tests last week. They're doing it at the source where the brown water is. There's a difference between safe and unsightly. It's
definitely unsightly. I wouldn't drink it either.
No, it's not. It's definitely unsightly, but it doesn't mean that it's unsafe.
And I understand people do have to be careful with their laundry. It will stain their clothes. It will, and those sorts of things. So there are concerns that are legitimate.
And they're working on it. They are absolutely working on it. And,
I think Rosemary and Tom both said, one day you go to do laundry and it's fine. And the next day you go to do laundry and it's brown and you got to wait until the next day. So even they're experiencing it.
So I looked at my cup before I came here, and there was about this much water left in it, and I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's got a little bit of a color tint to it, and I didn't even notice it. So obviously with like significant discoloration, there's a problem, and I would have noticed that, but the minor discoloration, I obviously didn't notice that. And
the dog's okay, and
well, yeah. Dog, listen, my dog drinks out of the puddle. Right. So the water could be contaminated and it wouldn't affect my dog.
It wouldn't affect Leah.
I shouldn't say that.
She's a hardy dog.
She is, but legitimately, like, the dog drinks out of the puddles, and I have to yell at her when she does that. And I'm sure your dog does that too.
Yes, and I speak to them too. I don't allow them to do that because they can get sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dog is also a poop eater.
Oh, don't even. That's just terrible.
I know. Your dog's poop eaters?
No, they're not.
Good news. Exciting news.
Okay, let it rip.
Lower part of Berlin Street
is open
for business. I'm super excited about that because
meaning the bridge.
Yeah, the bridge is
not
open.
where the water main broke. That's still
That's
under
still closed.
construction.
Yep.
But I think they were hoping that it would be finished by tomorrow. They did get a little bit of rain, so that may cause a little bit of a delay. But that was the goal. And I hope that they can do it. And I know they've been working so hard on that space right there.
Yeah.
At the bottom of Berlin.
And Rosemary, I understand the reasoning for wanting it to be there, the flag in the middle of downtown. I think that for like the 25th anniversary, absolutely. This is the fire department going out of their way to show remembrance. So.
And they asked if they could do that. I mean, that was something that they felt pretty passionate about and really wanted. I mean, not this time.
Yeah.
They have said before that that's something that they would really like to do was display it at the fire department.
Yeah. Regarding Berlin Street, I'll just share a couple pictures here. This is what it looked like. I grabbed these pictures from somebody. I don't know whose they are. They're not mine. But some pictures of what Berlin Street looked like after the water main break. So it was pretty bad. So it's going to take a couple days to get it fixed. Yeah. So the other thing we had Barre Up come in on Tuesday night, and they're a nonprofit that's going to be helping to direct resources for flood victims. We had that conversation, and I think they're going to be in the old police department building, which I have some pictures here of what it looks like now. It's getting closer to being done. It actually looks pretty snazzy.
Yeah, I was going to say, Janet, I believe, said that it's ready to go.
Yeah, and that was a couple like Friday, I think, the pictures that I took. So I'll post that back up there so that people can see.
Because this question came up, I'm going to ask it. How was that funded? That fixing that space?
That was the city. The city paid for that.
Okay.
Yep. So a couple months ago, quite a few months ago actually, the city. So currently, Dawn and Heather are up at the Barre Auditorium. And I think the ultimate plan is to have them move back down to City Hall. I might be wrong. I can't remember if there's somebody that was not paying attention, but paying attention. It's not that I wasn't paying attention. I just can't retain information. But my understanding is that they're going to be coming back down to City Hall. So that'll be a nice place once that's up and running. Although, who knows how long that's going to be there for. Then, do you know what's happening on Saturday?
Yes. So the bulky trash, bulky waste, you can drop up. I was shocked by the list of things that they are accepting. Even small cars. Like crazy, but not the rims. I don't know what that's
small
about.
Cars. You mean like the little
plastic
ones?
It literally said, read the list, Michael.
I'm looking. Passenger car. Oh, no. Passenger car like truck tires. So passenger car tires.
All right. I have to look.
You know what? I see what you're saying, but that's not what it is.
All right.
It's passenger car tires.
There are people think that they can bring their cars up there so that this is why I'm saying this. So that bulldogs will come and get them or something. I'm serious when I tell you this. So, when I tell you that, I'm very serious. That is what some people believe, that they can bring cars, and that's why I bring that up. Yeah. And Michael is typing as fast as he can.
I am texting Nicholas right now. Hey, bulky waste says passenger cars.
It does. It's the way it's written. It says
does.
passenger car,
And
comma,
truck tires.
light truck tires, comma. So,
But for the record, it's just passenger.
Right, it doesn't
passenger
say-
car tires.
right, it should say
Tires.
passenger car or light truck
Yeah.
tires.
Correct.
No comma there.
Correct. Yeah, I didn't see that.
But it
and-
specifically says no rims.
Poor Nicholas.
So I'm just letting you know
He'll
that that's out there.
That's funny.
Well,
yeah,
because
no.
sometimes
So
there are places that do accept small cars, and then Bulldogs would come and get them.
Remind me to post that.
Okay.
That there's no cars being dropped off.
Well,
Oh wow.
yes,
Man.
we hope. So, hopefully nobody hauls
Yes,
one up
Rosemary
there.
did.
And I also, since we're talking about that, so that is offered free of charge from the city. And that is, what are the hours for that? I forget.
That
I just took it off the
is,
page.
September 16th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. only.
Okay.
Passenger car tires,
Okay.
no rims. And light truck tires, no rims.
Right. They might want to fix that post and
Yeah.
post the shit out of it between now and then. The same day, Saturday from 8 to 4 at the Granite Museum, anybody from anywhere, no matter where you live, can bring tires there. Associated General Contractors, who also does Wheels for Warmth. And this is not a Wheels for Warmth thing. They know they're going to get destroyed. They're destroying these tires. But anybody that ended up with tires on their lawn, the side of the road, they've picked them up because of the flood. Or even if you just have junk tires that you want to get rid of. They have a tire splitter that's going to be there. And so they'll split the tires. Some farmers are taking them away. But so they will be taking tires no matter where you're from in the state of Vermont from 8 to 4 at the Granite Museum on Saturday.
All right.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. What else happened? Oh, do you want to talk about Barre Up? Community flood
Sure. Yeah.
discussion?
Yeah, because I'm still a little bit, my head is kind of shaking a little bit about that. Not really shaking, spinning a little bit, because I didn't even know that Barre Up existed until the council meeting. So must be something that was just barely born.
I'm actually
confused.
So the advertisement for it, the Barre Up Community Flood Recovery discussion, and
Right.
I was sadly unable to make it last night.
Right.
I had school board, which unfortunately I had to go to that. Had I not had agenda items on there, I would have gone to the Barre Up. Although,
But
yeah,
Yeah.
which we will have to talk about shortly with the agenda item for the school board.
Okay.
And believe me, I'm very excited about that. So
Okay.
But yeah, so there was the Barre Up 5:30 to 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
What time did you guys get out?
Well, the Zoom, the one that I was in, because I participated by Zoom, we ended just before 8 o'clock.
Oh,
Like
okay, so
literally
you did
just
not go-
before 8.
You didn't go the full time.
If you were in the Zoom, there was 17 of us in the room, and we discussed all those things, we discussed all of the same things, just in a very small group by Zoom, and so we were done before 9. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that there was a lot of complaints about landlords on there, and believe me,
Which is sad.
I'm actually I get it. There's some really crappy landlords out there, but there's also some really good landlords
Right.
out there. And unfortunately, what happens is we group them all together and then make some generalized statements. And especially when it comes to the cost of housing, which is interesting. I posted on the Barre City Community fan page, what does affordable housing mean to you? And in fact, I'll ask that question to the viewers. What does affordable housing mean to you? And the person that I loved the answer the most was Chris Pavick. And she knows a little bit something about.
Yeah, she lives in her van.
She knows a little bit about affordable housing. She can't, and she lives in her van. It's a mobile van. It's got a bed, everything else, but it's not a house. And she chose to live that life
because that's what
cheaper.
was affordable,
right, for her.
And that's a really tough question because, not long ago I read an article in regards to housing and how much just the cost to build has gone up, and the cost of materials. The percentages were astronomical. Really, it was like 70-something%, and then the interest rates. And so how do you even build affordable housing at this point? And if you're a landlord and you spend the money to build it, you gotta, and then you're still paying the taxes and the insurance and maintenance. You gotta get you can't lose money on the deal.
One of the things that's happening and I'm going to get a lot of hate about this, but one of the things that's happening in Barre City is gentrification, right? Like I made that comment. We're pushing out our lower income folks, and part of that process is, you bring in, businesses that regular folks can't really afford, and,
which we've done,
and, we've upgraded our housing stock. And everybody's like, well, you should have really good housing stock. I'm like, yeah, but that comes at a price, right? Like there's a difference between your marbled countertops and a countertop that's made of vinyl and just looks really crappy. But, and I think of a specific place, that caters to people that do not have a lot of money at all. Like not at all. And at the end of the day, people will totally trash that person that owns that building, but that's providing a need for our community, because without that, they're homeless. And people need to understand that. And Chris Pavick made that comment, and she's probably going to get annoyed that I'm like keep on invoking her name. And she made that comment to a friend of mine that was commenting on her comment and said, these nice apartments are great, except for when you can't afford them, you're homeless.
Right.
And she was talking about purchasing, and I'm like a big fan of this, like purchasing those like barns from Home Depot and making homes out of them. I think that's actually a really good idea. Super cheap. Yeah, it's not going to be the easiest thing.
Containers.
Yeah,
I mean,
storage containers, exactly.
For real. I've seen some really cool homes that are storage containers.
Absolutely. I think we need that. Otherwise, what we're going to end up having, which is what's currently happening, is we're going to have this huge divide in our community. The more we upgrade houses, the only people that can afford it are the people that are making super amount of money or people that are on subsidies. And then you have, and just as a side note, that's something that the Planning Commission can handle, right?
Yeah.
That's something that you guys handle, and it makes a difference. Right. Thank you, Penny Day. She writes, people are buying sheds also and making them into tiny homes. And that is something that we need to have that conversation about. It's too bad that nobody wants to talk about that. We want to talk about affordable housing, which comes out at about $150,000 to $250,000, which unfortunately, I hate to inform folks that don't make $80,000 working for the state, or, $150,000 working for some nonprofit or whatever. People can't afford that.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Most of their average individual within Barre City The median income is $39,000.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, $120,000 or $150,000 house, a $250,000 house doesn't help that group of people.
No. I would.
And yes, they are cute. I agree,
would
Penny.
really like to start seeing if we can figure out how many bank-owned properties there are in the city currently, because I will tell you that I know of two, and those same two bank-owned properties, it's been 7 years. 7 years ago, I did inspections for foreclosed homes. So I would go in, check the condition, make sure there was no squatters, that this, that, and the other. That's what I would do. And I would send my info back to the bank. I worked for a specific company that did that for the local banks, and in some cases, insurance companies. We would be going in to do an insurance inspection. I know that two of the ones that were on my list then are still empty now. So did they get bought, or are they still bank owned? And if we have a bunch of bank owned properties in the city, is that something that we can somehow look into and invest in and try to?
They have to sell it.
Right.
They have to sell them, and because we can't force them to sell. So
No, but if we even knew, maybe we could appeal to them a little bit and say, look, this is the crisis we're in, and I'm sorry you're Chase Bank of America and that you own this house here in Barre City, but selling it for something, I would think, is better than letting it sit empty for nothing.
Large corporations.
And is it a liability? Is it a tax liability? Do they maintain property tax?
Oh yeah, they pay the taxes. Otherwise,
right.
we get
Otherwise, you would have it, right? Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've always been curious about that.
It would be interesting. It certainly would be interesting. I think that moving on to a different subject, I think it's too late now. But I'm going to put it out there just in case. We were soliciting applications for committees. I think it's over with, isn't it?
It is, but I know that there was nobody that applied for planning commission, and I believe I think nobody applied for, or that there's a DRB seat available now.
Okay, well,
and that wasn't applied for, and that kind of all just came about. So I think there's going to be a request to Nicholas to open that back up for a little bit.
Okay. So I'm going to throw it out there then. There's some positions on the Development Review Board. They meet on the first Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. And the Planning Commission meets every second Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Then, of course, we've got Transportation and Public Works Committee, which meets on the doesn't say here when they meet, but I think they meet on Wednesday, once a month on a Wednesday, and I don't know which day of the week that is. But there's also the Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion and Belonging Committee that meets. They actually met tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops, look at that. That's what happens when you have silly computers that do weird things. Just saying.
I know.
See what I'm working with,
I
folks?
know we need a new one.
Yeah, you do.
Maybe
but that's
someday.
okay.
Maybe Santa will bring one.
Maybe someday.
Maybe Santa will bring
someday. One. Oh wait, no, that's somewhere. Yeah. So that's pretty much all that I got for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I got really anything else.
No, I mean, they did rescind or.
They rescinded the ADU.
The ADU.
I was the only jerk that voted no. And the reason why I voted no on it is because we made the decision, and, for city council to start going back on decisions that they make, it's kind of makes it like the city's unstable in decision-making processes, which which is fine. I'm okay with that, but I know that there's been some comments in the past about how the city, is unstable, and it's like, well, that's unstable when you do a decision and then undo it.
Right.
And Amy Galford just posted something, and I'm not reading it right now, but I will read it in just a second. I do want to mention we had talked on Tuesday night about water rates and how there's actually a website, which now I wish I had the link, but Amy, if you have it at your hand, if you wouldn't mind dropping it, that would be amazing. There's actually a link that you can click on, and you can compare water rates within our region, within our state, for that matter. And I think Sam said that there was one that does United States wide, but the one that I was looking at, which is the one that Amy sent me an email on, was one that just does a state. And when you look at the cost of water rates, we're lower than the surrounding areas. The only thing that is different is that we have a lower median income. I think we have like a $39,000 median income, and like Montpelier has a $67,000 median income.
Right. There's a big discrepancy there for sure.
So, and I think that's really important to know, what we're getting. We're getting a relatively low cost water, and it is because of the people that we serve, right? I mean, we have a lot of connections, and that does drive down the price, and that's like super important to note. And on that, and I will post it later if it's not posted in there shortly. There is the oh no, I lost what I was going to say. Do you know what I was going to say?
I do not know what you were going to say.
I'm really disappointed.
Do you want me to come over and give you a little tap in the back of the head like I do JD sometimes to see if it'll fall out? Who wants me to tap Michael in the back of the head? No.
Might be a good idea, like you get a reboot. So Amy said, I brought up a vacant property at the city council meeting a while back, acknowledging it was too early in the response and code enforcement has been beyond busy. Brought it up again last night at the Barry Up Zoom. I do wonder if there's some of them in the flood. Look at that, Amy. You are amazing. Thank you so very much.
Amy was in the Zoom chat with me in the breakout room, I guess is what they were calling it. And I, too, greatly appreciate her input and her knowledge, and what she brought to the conversation is a big deal. And thank you for that.
Thank you for dropping that in there. So, folks, don't click it right now, because then you'll leave the page unless it automatically clicks and goes to a different page. But definitely check out that link, because it's super informative. And I really wish I could remember what I was going to say, but the rates are relatively... Rosemary said, why doesn't Amy join the planning commission?
Yes, that would be wonderful. Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah.
She's not wrong, Amy.
Come on in.
Just think about it. I actually...
Yeah.
It's a really good idea. Anyway,
it
sorry.
Is a great idea.
Soliciting people online. I apologize. But so it's important to note that the water is a little more, for median income. It's difficult. But the other thing is that a lot of our lower income folks are probably rental, right? Which is going to be covered in the rental cost, which does go up for rent rates. Right.
Exactly.
So those do increase the rental.
Landlords do have to make a living, and it's sometimes really tough for them to make a living. And the tough part about the landlord situation too is you can have 5 amazing tenants and 1 bad one that will cost you thousands and thousands of dollars, and eviction. That affects the bottom line come lease time and re-signing what they need to recoup. and that would be the same. I mean, if we all need to look at it in the way is, if if we're going to work every day and some people say, and you all of a sudden have to pay for your comp time or you pay for your vacation time or something. I mean, you have to think about what that takes out of your own pocket.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. It's their livelihood.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the majority of landlords do not rent because it's fun. I'm just guessing that.
Probably
it's
not.
a lot of work, and it's
Probably not.
and actually I think that we would have a better rental market if we treated landlords better than we do, and gave them more support than they have.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there needs to be a balance. That's the reason why I supported the housing board of review, something like that that we had, and Teddy and I had worked on that, and we had both sides of that represented, landlord and tenant, and hoped that it would sugar out into a good thing. But the state said, no, we don't want you having that.
I mean,
power.
it has to work both ways. It can't be so one-sided, which so many things are these days. I don't know. I thought we were supposed to be moving forward, but sometimes it seems like we're only moving forward if we're doing it one way. That my way or the highway kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of compromising.
No, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are not compromising.
Yeah, and it is sad, and so hopefully we can get to a different place with that. But anyway, so last night when we were talking and we were in that breakout room, a couple of interesting things that happened. One of the things that was brought up, or they brought up a few things, like what would you like to see in the future going forward? What would have helped? What didn't help? Those sorts of things. And one of the things that was brought up was an alert system. And I know that Michael Deering had brought that up at a city council meeting not too long ago. Like, what about the old whistle or the siren that was at Ladder One? Is it possible to get that up and running again? Some sort of alert system. I haven't heard anything more about that, but I agree that is something that would be, at least let those that don't stay on their phone and social media know you need to get to the auditorium, or at least pay really good attention to what's going on around you. So I hope that does get implemented really soon. As you know, I think a lot of amazing things happened in the last few weeks. We had people from all over come here in force to help dig out, muck out, do whatever they could to help us, even feed us. We had the guy that came up, the school teacher that set up in the park and fed people for a week. And we had another local group that did that with their little sausage truck that they set up at the auditorium. And then we know that enough ministries put out that crazy amount of pounds. It was over 1,000 pounds of food, a week or maybe even a day. I don't know how to sum all of that up, but hundreds and hundreds of meals.
Yeah.
And then the clothing and the all of the hygiene products and helping kind of disperse some of the volunteers that were here from the various church groups. So Dan was very much involved in all of that. And a lot of those groups got to stay at a lot of the churches on the outskirts. That was difficult, though. I worked one-on-one with Team Rubicon, tried to help them get housing, the housing that they originally, and when I say housing, I'm not talking housing. They wanted a place to put their cots and a place to shower, because let's face it, this is gross work that you can get infection from, whatever. They weren't asking for a ton, but we couldn't put them in the schools because the schools weren't available, and we couldn't put them in the auditorium because that was the Red Cross was there. And so I just wonder if we can find a way to split that resource in next time. Could there be a discussion between the Red Cross and the volunteer, or could the volunteers stay in the BOR instead? But they wanted to be local, and thankfully I was able to work. I found a place. They went to Norwich University and occupied some dorm rooms. Thank you again, Norwich, for being absolutely amazing. They even fed them a few times and everything. They were incredible. So they stayed there for a little while, and then they came down here to the Seventh-day Adventist church on Vine Street and stayed for the remainder of their time. But had I not found something for them, they wouldn't have come. They couldn't have driven here, not knowing where their 40 people are going to stay. And because they do this out of the kindness of their heart, they spend the gas money to come here. They feed themselves.
Right.
They can't pay for shelter as well.
Yeah, these are people that see a disaster and they immediately go. And it is incumbent, upon the municipality to find them a place. They try to find a place, right? I mean, they would have eventually found it somewhere else, but they would have left this area.
Right, they would have left this area and helped somewhere else as well. And I know a few people that they that reached out to me, because I had a whole list of people that needed help and with mucking and this, that, and the other thing. And one by one, we checked off all those homes that needed the help desperately. And it was good to work with them, but that was just a suggestion.
Yeah. And I do want to talk about the city's response to this. I'm obviously, as a city councilor, Nicholas did a fabulous job.
Absolutely.
And
no one can deny that.
That's my opinion. I saw, I'll say, so the trash that was building up daily within the first couple days of the flood would still be there 2 weeks later if it weren't for Nicholas doing something.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get the state contract until 2 weeks later, and I think Montpelier did not do what we did for that, and we got that stuff picked up real quick.
Yes.
So it's going to cost. It's going to cost us. But I think that it was an expense that was well worth it, especially for those that were dealing
and some
with
lessons learned. I mean,
absolutely.
It cost, but it also taught a lot. At least I hope it did. Yeah. So, but hopefully.
And Amy just dropped a comment. I saw a recent press release about Team Rubicon and FEMA having a more formal relationship. Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, I saw that as well. It is awesome. Was super excited to read that myself.
Amy, we're going to have you come on the show.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
It would be.
But anyway, so let's just say that it literally took a village, and like always we did it, because there was enough ministries. There was Heading Methodist Church, there was Rainbow Bridge, and then there was Samaritan's Purse, Team Rubicon.
Billy Graham was here.
Yeah, Billy there were just so many people, and we were very lucky. I'm sure
Samaritan's
many more.
Purse is
and then
Franklin
plus
Graham, right? Isn't it?
Right.
I think so. Okay, yeah, never mind.
And then plus
it's all part of the same.
All of the people from the community that came out from everywhere and helped. I mean, the football team Spalding.
Oh,
that
yeah.
that first day when we were all down at Yipes helping, and we had those football players down there. I mean, my goodness, they worked hard.
Jaquan,
And
just
every
was-
day they were out there doing it. That
Yep.
same group, there was 4 boys.
Yep.
And when we were at Yipes, when we were at the Legion, a couple of different houses on Vine Street, I mean, they were just amazing.
Yeah.
We were very, very blessed with so many people.
Yeah. And one of those, I got to point out, one of the football players was Jaquan. Oh, I can't remember.
Who
his
got
name.
appointed last
Who got
night?
appointed? He was appointed on Tuesday. And
Two?
now I can't remember what his last name is, and I feel absolutely terrible.
I'll find it.
So if somebody knows,
Yeah.
just drop it in there and give him a shout out. But he's also a student council representative as well, and he decided to join the Diversity and Equity Committee as their first student representative. So that's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful.
And he's a good kid. He was doing like you said, he was mucking up at Yipes when
He just did such a great job last night
he
too,
did.
when
I
he
thought
spoke.
I'm not going to lie to you. When he was at Yipes, I thought he was older, because we were kind of fighting over the
Pressure washer.
which
Right, because Michael was stomping his feet. He wanted to use the pressure washer.
I wanted to use the pressure washer. I'm not going to lie. So, as folks may or may not know, I may have, I might be a little overweight. So it's not like I'm going to be able to like go and start moving things around, and it's not good. Whatever. My personal health issues, I'm not going to go down that route.
But you were very helpful, and you did help us.
Yeah. So the pressure washing was pretty easy. I did some work down at when I went down, it was really rough for me down at the
Legion.
The Legion.
Yeah, because we had to go in and out of the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very rough.
And
it was rough
yeah.
for me too, with my little foot. And there's, it's I can't carry things in front of me because I have to be able to see where I'm going.
Yeah.
In order to make my self stable.
Yeah.
Or yeah, meaning not tip over. I don't know that anybody can make me stable, but
You are unstable, aren't you?
mm-hmm.
Are you unstable?
Yep, certifiable.
You're certifiable?
Yeah.
So,
Have
you
you
want to
seen
have
the people
some fun?
I hang out with?
You want to have some fun?
Sure.
So, there was a presidential candidate. What are they? When you have playlists, that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
They asked the presidential candidates what their
song they wanted.
they listened to.
Oh gosh.
I know.
Oh no.
I know. Isn't it scary? You wanna talk about that a little bit?
We can.
All right. Let's see here. Oh, I can't find it now. Oh, that's so sad.
Oh damn.
Oh, wait. It's right here. I put it in the thing. All right. So Raylene, if you were a betting person,
Mm-hmm.
oh, it doesn't give me the option of
If
doing
I was
it.
a betting person,
If you
what
were a
song
betting person, would Chris Christie do? Chris Christie.
Well, this is why I think he would do this because he's so up in his own head.
And just
bad
so
to the
folks
bone.
know, we don't. We're all done with
Because
Barry
he
stuff.
loves
We're just
himself
having
so
fun
much.
now.
Because he loves himself so much, I think he would do like bad to the bone.
You have to love yourself to run for president. Just gonna say that.
Well,
out
he
loud.
loves himself a little too much.
So
My opinion.
that would be bad to the bone. Is not on his list, and I'm looking down through, and I'm not seeing anybody with bad to the bone.
Mm-hmm.
But he is from New Jersey.
Yes.
Think about that. You want to try again?
So Rosemary says Bruce.
Rosemary, did you see the article?
No,
Yes.
she's just
Bruce
smart.
Springsteen is the top of the list. Thunder Road. Thunder Road. Right? Well,
Yep.
Wait. Yeah. Is that it? Oh no.
I have no clue. I have no
Is it-
clue.
wait a minute, wait a
I
minute.
think you're singing
I think
Garth Brooks.
I think I'm singing Garth Brooks.
You are singing Garth Brooks. Night and day right there, babe. And yes, Rosemary did. She gave me
Oh, my
names for
goodness.
Rubicon as they came in. Lots of people did. We're fortunate. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
What did Joe Biden pick? How to
He
get to
wasn't-
Sesame
he wasn't
Street?
actually on there. No, he didn't.
How does that go? Sunny days.
So
Chase
wrong.
my
That was
blues
so
away.
wrong. That was so wrong. That
I'm
was so
just
wrong. That was so
asking.
wrong. No, he was not. He was not asked. But Vivek Ramaswamy. I messed up his name. I'm sorry. I wouldn't vote for him, so I am not going to learn his name. Want to guess what his top song was?
Beyonce. I don't know. What?
Beyonce is not on there. He actually has some good picks here. You know, I wonder how many.
Well, tell me what his
hours-
picks are.
I wonder how many hours the PR folks did to determine what to pick. So, "Lose Yourself" by Eminem, "Rondo alla Turca," Mozart, way too classy for me. "Centuries" by Fall Out Boy. Never heard of it.
No.
"Believer," Imagine Dragons. I like that one. And then Jolene from Dolly Parton.
What the? Are you shitting me?
I'm dead serious. Jolene, 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 please don't take away my man. Maybe your man needs to go away, because if you think that Jolene can take him away, he's not your man. And he's a
That's right.
scumbag.
That's right.
Just saying, Dolly. I love the song, though. Love the song, Dolly. It's a sweet song.
Oh, gosh.
I like your 9 to 5 better. Or actually, you know what I like? My Coat of Many Colors.
That is one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a beautiful
I
song.
can play
If
that
you
one on
guys,
the guitar.
yeah, that's a really beautiful song. Sorry. Oh no, I'm getting all emotional.
You
with that.
digress.
Yeah. Coat of many colors that my mama made for me. Anyway, go and look it up, folks. And then there's Thunder by Imagine Dragons again, and Dream On, Aerosmith. So that's a pretty good one. And Pictures of Plenty, Woody Guthrie. Need to have JD here. He would know all this stuff.
I've heard of
Guthrie.
that one, but I don't know that I know all the words.
So Chris Christie and Vivek was like at each other's throats, but they share a common song. Something that they're both going to be singing come January 20th, 2025. Dream on, dream on.
I was gonna say another one bites the dust.
That was so. For those that are supporters of both of those candidates, I'm sorry. I'm just picking.
Well, it's
I'm just
okay if we
picking.
have our own opinion.
Yes,
It's
yes.
okay.
Yes.
I know that that's not the popular belief that it's okay that we have our own opinion, but it is. And
True.
it's still okay to be nice to each other when we do. Yeah.
I will say Nikki Haley, who I kind of dig. Favorite top of the list? I guess.
No.
No? I'll give you... Oh, wait. No. Wait a minute. No, I was going to mess that up, so I'm not going to say that. Joan Jett. I love rock and roll.
I like that song.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
That's a great song. Anyway, so she also likes Bananarama, Cruel Summer, anyway, whatever. So the real question is, Raylene, what's on your playlist?
Oh my gosh. Do you want me to show you on my Spotify?
Yeah.
On what do I listen to?
Yeah. Tell me what was the last
well,
song you listened to?
Right now, I love Jelly Roll, but let me tell you what the last song
Jelly
is.
Roll.
I love Jelly
no,
Roll.
wait. No,
Let me
that's
tell
Tootsie
you.
Roll. My bad.
So, the last song I listened to was Chris Stapleton. Come on, pull it up there. Good Lord. Think I'm in love with you. That's what was playing in my car when I get out of it tonight. But I have I have different lists. So I have a list called working. So when I'm cleaning the house, I have a list for the car that made me a true leadfoot. So I shouldn't listen to that when I'm in the car. I have a list for camping because you listen to different things around the campfire. Camping has to include Bob Dylan. Just saying.
Yeah.
If there's no Bob Dylan, then are you camping? And then I have another one that's like just a mix of country stuff. And yeah, I listen to everything though.
I do not.
But that is the song that was. You don't listen to everything?
Not really. Do you listen to Lose Yourself by Eminem?
No. So, okay. So I listen to
you're not going to
some
stand up
rap
for
stuff.
stand up?
No. I listen to some rap stuff, but not a lot. And
You're a Kanye West fan, aren't you?
oh God, no. That man
You don't
is
like-
terrible.
Like, you don't like the
No.
Chick-fil-A on Sunday
No.
song?
I wouldn't listen to him.
Hey, folks.
Even if
that's
I
a
liked
real
a song, even if I thought he had a good song, I would not listen to that disgusting excuse of a man.
Poor Men from past.
I'm just
or
saying that's
Richmond or
my
whatever.
opinion
Oh.
of
Okay.
him. He's no. Nope. No respect from me.
Want to take a guess on mine? The
Yeah.
last song I listened to?
How to Get to Sesame Street. You asked.
No,
Michael.
no, it was no, it would be Welcome to the Jungle, right? Going to both the school board and I forgot to talk about the school board. Oh man. Oh well, we will circle back on that one.
Definitely.
No, it was Miley Cyrus, Flowers.
Oh, I don't like that song.
You don't?
No.
Why not? I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand.
Yeah. You
Talk
can,
to myself
and she can.
for hours.
Yeah,
it's
she
kind
can
of
do all
actually
those
it's a sad
things.
song. Actually.
It is sad. I think it is sad.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like
it is,
you can
it
do
is
all
a
those
sad-
things, but it would be nice if you had somebody in your life that was willing to do that for you, and even if it was just like your really best, your best friend or something.
Yeah. I think
Like-
she came out
like
with a different one.
You and Rosemary, and like what would I do without you guys?
Yeah. No, I get it. And then the other song, which is like the antithesis of it, is Rise Up.
I'll
I'll rise up at the start of the day. And yeah.
I like that song.
That's a really good song. And for those that don't know, I highly recommend going and listening to that song and watching the video. It just
My dogs hate it when I try to sing it, but
all right. Really?
yeah, they
you hear
howl and shit. No,
You hear- No?
no,
No? Okay.
I'm only picking anyway.
Oh, they'll howl.
Yeah.
Got it.
because she gets
Now I
pretty
get
high.
it. Now I got
She
it.
she has some crazy vocals. Just saying.
Let's quickly talk about the school board last night.
All right,
which
let's
was
quickly talk
in
about it.
itself a
Let's
big
go to Sesame Street.
dookiness. It was just all dookie.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels. I go to the school board meeting thinking to myself, why?
Right.
But
why
but
did
it was
they do
really
this?
good because I submitted 2 action memos and it's so funny. Like I when those action memos came out at first, I was really hateful of them.
Mm-hmm.
But after being on the school board, I'm like, hey, you know what? These would actually be really good. So I'm doing action memos to try to, gently tell people this is how you should do it because how we've been doing it is not very good, my opinion. And people may or may not agree with me, and they don't. So, because I'm the only person that's doing it. But I submitted 2. One was for my stipend, which frustrates me to no end because, for the city, all you have to do is send Carol an email and it stays in the general budget, and they give it to the Christmas party for the staff. For the school board, I thought I could do the same thing. And next thing you know, I'm going to the finance committee asking for permission. And then I have to go to the school board for permission.
To give your money away? Are you shitting me?
So I wanted to give it away before it was taxed. Because if it comes to me, that means it gets taxed. And
right,
then
you want them to have the whole thing.
Right, exactly. Have the whole thing to put it towards, some sort of event to,
Christmas for kids, maybe, that the school does.
Right.
We usually stand down and do this coin drop on Main Street.
I didn't even think about that. That would have been a better idea. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, the point is that it went into an account that can be used for an event in future in the year. So it was just like so difficult, the whole process, and it was really frustrating. But thankfully it passed. It was close. It was
because there
close.
were people that didn't want you to do that.
There was some questions about it and concerns, and it doesn't matter. It's over with now. So that was gone through.
But you got to do it.
Yeah,
that's what matters.
The most important thing that we talked about last night: Articles 3 and 4. And if Heather is still listening, she is gonna come over here. Does she know where you live?
Yeah, she knows where I live.
She knows where you live.
Yeah, she has the key to the front door even.
You sure?
I'm positive. In case I ever need her.
Ooh. Let's talk about the music again.
Yeah, you may have flat tires when you go outside.
Do you have cameras?
Yes, I do.
Don't touch my tires. I have cameras at my house too, Heather.
It'll send alerts off on my phone.
So, Articles 3 and 4.
Uh-huh.
Those are the articles that make it so that we cannot actually combine our schools together. To make it so that a kid from Barre City in first grade, it makes it so that a kid from Barre City in first grade cannot be in the same classroom as a kid from Barre Town.
Oh, come on. Are you shitting me?
No, those are the articles that was put into place when they formed the BUUSD. So one of the things that I have been trumpeting is getting rid of Articles 3 and 4 so that we can move forward.
And be one community, for God's sake. Yes. At least for our kids' sake. Just stop the madness.
Right.
Nobody should be, pitting anybody against anybody. We should be teaching our kids that nobody is better than anybody else. We're all one. We need to try hard together. Come on. She can flatten my tires if she wants. I don't care. I will. That is something I will beat that drum always.
We'll have to. You know what we need to do is you need to have on me and her on Aired Out, and we'll have a little.
Yeah, I mean, I
can't.
can't.
She has good reasons. So.
I know she does. I know she does.
And I'm only picking on you, Heather, because I saw you earlier up there.
I can't get on that.
Yeah.
Though, because I can't do it myself. It's Barry to me. Yeah. 05641.
The point that I was trying to make was that so we had the conversation last night, and we are going to every month have a conversation about it. Every month we're going to have it as a standing agenda item to discuss the removal of Articles 3 and 4. And actually it's modification of 3 and removal of 4. And this will give us the ability to actually combine our schools the way that they should be for equity, for cost efficiencies, for everything. I mean, it's the way we need to go. It's just the way that it needs to go. So with that being said, it passed the school board, and I made a motion. Or no, Terry may have made the motion. It was either Terry or I. He might have seconded it. I can't remember. Somebody did something. And Chris was like fully on board. In fact, I spoke to Karen Fredericks today down at the concerts in the park, and she was like, high five, because it's true. We need to do that, and that's going to mean that we're gonna, and as the chair of the curriculum committee, we're going to have to start talking about curriculum on that level. If we go down that route, right? The city will eventually have to vote for it, and the city and the town will have to vote for it, and it's a combined vote, so it's based on overall number. So hopefully we can get that passed.
I think, don't you think that we're in a space now where, or we should be in a space now where it's okay to be one, especially our kids?
It'll pass. Don't worry. I'm pretty positive it will pass. As long as, and I was saying that we have to be as a school board together.
And especially if they benefit from it. Well, if everything is combined, our children benefit greatly, I would assume.
And one of the things that I mentioned last night was, imagine, little Johnny, he's, in first grade with 20 other kids. Okay. Mm-hmm. And this year, let's just say there's 20 kids last year there was like 50 kids. Okay. And this year there's 25, 30 kids. What that means is that we can divide those kids up into 2 classrooms, and then that other teacher can be reallocated to help. Another teacher could be reallocated to maybe a different grade that needs help, or maybe Johnny's friend next door needs a little extra help, and that teacher can provide those more intense. I don't know. That's that's something that the district would figure out.
Right.
So, but you can't do that if you don't get rid of these articles. So, folks, pay attention, because that's going to be coming down. Ask the questions, come to the meetings, and
please.
Get involved and learn about it, because this is a really good thing for the district, for our children. So
it is.
That being said,
it really is.
That was the big items that I cared about last night for the school board meeting. So anyway, yeah, you have anything?
No,
No?
I'm good.
You wanna leave off on a funny note?
Are you gonna play How to Get to Sesame Street?
No, because we'll get.
Well, shit.
If we played
Just
that.
play the instrumental.
No.
All right.
So
You can just hum it.
So let me tell you. Oh my goodness. So I was listening to the radio. And I heard this. And I hope it goes to the right place. We'll see. It's going to YouTube, so it's safe.
We're not playing it yeah.
What?
Are you playing it?
Well,
yeah.
I was thinking we could play it,
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know if you already turned it on or not.
Oh, no, I haven't turned it on. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready to have fun with this?
You have at it. It's time to go.
All right. Let's insert this, and we'll make it nice and available. And we'll share it. And with this, folks,
we're saying goodnight.
We're gonna say goodnight to y'all.
Tune in next week. We love y'all.
Next week. Yep, Monday night. We're still planning on Monday night.
No family emergencies for me this week.
Yes. All right. With that, here you go.
Okay, and I'm not asking about the lumpy pillow calls.
No, they're not lumpy pillows. That's not what they call on. Okay? That when you say lumpy pillows, now you're an You got that? You're an is what you are. No, he's an he's an ambulance chasing That's what you are. Lumpy pillows, kiss my ass. Put that in your book. No, they answer anything, any problem customer that wants to reach Mike Lindell. Those are the ones. I want to talk to Mike Lindell. I want to talk to Mike Lindell. They send them to here and they go.
I'm going to start calling people.
Or they call about maybe
pillow.
They didn't get their pillow on time because of the FedEx or whatever. Well, we'll cover them even though it could be somebody else's fault. Nobody called because of a lumpy pillow. But good one though.
You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
What I'm saying.
Obviously, you don't have a My Pillow too. You don't, do you?
You don't want that.